we'll see how this goes. I'm a little under the weather, but not too bad. Going to do some Final Fantasy for now, anyways, and see how it goes. Might swap over to Arc Raiders or something later. I don't know. But let's see how this goes for now. I know we're getting close to the end of Endwalker, so we'll see if we make it to the end of that. I can go from there. Okay.
Dragons? Here?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. In like manner to the oblivion I send, I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade. Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter in its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteon holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
So without body, a form with being with which we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we exist in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that. 'Tis true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us. Regardless, in sacrifice he hath afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it, and ascertain the nature of this realm that might confront and defeat Meteon. Aisling, Logan, would you accompany me through in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I will ask the rest of you to survey the surroundings. If there is a path that may lead us to our quarry, we must find it. Very well, we can reconvene here when everyone has finished. Meteon said the dragons are a shadow and a shade from our world whose distance sought oblivion. As such, they not like to be enabled to company, let alone conservation, so please be careful. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Let's split up and gather what knowledge we may. I'm gonna bring it back. Alright. Well, let's start with this one right here. A visitor not of this star. Could thy slander hands bring plague to our world, thy breath extinguishes life's feeble flame. Oh, how we would adore thee at last. With time our flesh shall wither, our soul fade, and so we wait for his inexorable march unto oblivion. If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. Beyond the distant veil, paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were proud and noble race, strength embodied, we knew only love before they came. Metal monstrosities of black and silver, no bonds of blood did they share, nor convention did they have to guide them. A crushing defeat, never had we known such shame. Still now are the winds, till none can fill these wings burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, only sink into oblivion. I don't think they were willing it, and I think Medium pretty much, you know, killed them. Thou would bid me speak? Folly. As read the lesson of stone, I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roar, only watch, and wait, and end. One sight, yes, stirs my blood, triumphs me to raise my voice in lamentation. Ahem, Noel, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go, if that be thy will, I shall remain. They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as a source that there was and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatch crown, or was. It seems similar on Atheros. Midgar Summer's kind once had lived and thrived in a place such as this. Beatrice said his father was driven from the ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. That one looks pretty whole. Most howling hath been quieted by thy hand, I presume. Anything right? I thought I heard a dragon or something resembling one. Oopsies. Wrong button. Perhaps some eggs with no armor were need mine. Its life once did quicken the beast house slain, be my blood. Come on. Turn my monitor back on. Yeah, I do not recognize this twist malfunction as it is. 1 second here. My screen is really dark, so I was trying to fix that, and I accidentally pushed the wrong button. Alright. Explain. I descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. Oh crap. Untold chaos, destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet, when they laid upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. The survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild, a futile effort. The pure soil repeat with either did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, for our land were barren, and any eggs nurtured for such desolation were not fated to rot. With few survived to hatch and emerge as abominations, we shall now have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That they are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and a rival of dragons decided a curious contest of supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we choose to break. We tire conflict of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. They will only brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand, and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now is the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. Is there a thing? as well. I mean, I'm not close to it, so. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be the cycle of conflict. Thank you, Logan Easting. As for our part, I believe we are more accurately aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off of it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? You consider that, and so I tried throwing a stone into a potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reached the mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. It would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked for Leporius to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on this surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it's too risky to fly into another island. What Mion told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might be best a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is, we have no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Medions, but the dragons that hold us here. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there's no way for the dragons or anyone here on the island to advance. A sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. The reason is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without infallible proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mere persuasion is not the answer. Mina meant to make us then and there on the Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She concluded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules ultimate Thule, and received it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in a like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. 'Twas Uma Thule's architect, Medion herself, against whom Thancred did put himself in a clash of wills, though I marked no leader among them. As such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most, potent enough, mayhap, to dictate the course for others, and thus the domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone and timbre alone threatening to rend my heart a twine. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. As I fear, my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against the calcifying heart, but mayhap one you will bear better. I need to get some water. Then I shall guide thee, Isle, and they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes to spawn the water. Well, what do we have to lose? Let's get going. Go and go get water. Be right back. Alright. Back. Got some water. That should, whoops. That should help a little bit. Hopefully. Yeah, it's like over there. Their water looks like oil.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this. So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
Aye, our pride is crushed and our soul corrupted. The winds are stilled and the hills are offered no comfort. There is nothing left for our kind. Our long lives of curse as we await the end. Still as stone we shall become.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the Expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our kin? On another star? And yet upon thee do I smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home?
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
It matters not whether we fly. Ever we shake at ocean awaits us. Ever will retribution's wheel churn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. I renounce conflict, exile myself from the other, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No. You must be willing to confront it. To stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinian!
Stay back.
We tire of war. We tire of turmoil. They need carnage, crimson stained. Our misery, our shame, too much to bear. Release us from war, from life.
I see. Theirs is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind.
He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
Crazy, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Find a little head cold right now. How's your day been going? Look there, the wind. It's so cold. Just chilling until you gotta work. This instinct's doing a fair bit. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Where? How cold is it there right now? Carbo Gal is delivered to an island. The other side should arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remained trapped within poison of their own making, limiting the horrors of war. Yet Instinct knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting Alpha, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. When did I slice my finger? Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alice is right. We must press on, for their sake. I have no idea why the heck I did that. Or how I did it. Huh. I mean, I haven't really done it in a couple weeks. I think you just missed the last part, which was mostly arriving here. But it was a lot of farewells and stuff like that last time. As Yisrael said, we must continue. It's been kind of my Tuesday game that I've been playing when I stream. Notice the change in us rise? Perhaps this is a memory of an altogether different world. To be prudent, to learn more of it then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in the sand. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in the surface, to appear as an ordinary stone. A curious script has been etched upon them. Alas, it's not language with which I am familiar. I'm gonna say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I call, preserved their knowledge and song and eschewed the written word entirely, so you assume that this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Meteon claimed the dragons would world suffer a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth win its way toward a similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? Where are ya? Yeah, be probably one of the last Tuesday streams, so there'll probably be maybe next week. I didn't stream last night just because I'm not feeling the best, so a little congestion and stuff, not super tired. I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but the surface seems to bear the same crystals at this moment. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go on and have a look. Come on. The kids, they had stuff going on this morning, so they're out doing that right now with their mother. What the heck is that thing? 15 EA. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed, it is. Forgive me, I've forgotten. An exchange of instructions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. Oh. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intentions, Iya, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it's not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As a non-clarity to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kofkoga. What? Yes, Kofkoda of the E. Yeah, kind of beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. Assume we are having the conversation via the medium of ether or darkness, as this space is still fast with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. How's your day going today, Arya? I gather your response to my presence is positive then. As well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be summarized that your bodies are comparable biological composites to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding their subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. That's a lot. That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies. I omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we siphoned for our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our ace-wise forms. However, our permanent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take for example the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring it into our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word. It would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through our etheric exquisiteness, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionals among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well, to ensure adventurous exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the E, where we traditionals prepare for our demise. I pursue your consent to answer questions in depth of tactical approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the E wandering the desert. The desire of bodies of flesh can be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me, it's going rather smoothly. Now that complaining mind, pretty sure they want to possess someone. Even so, we must forget their aim is to believe you, much like the dragons. Do I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we'll find no answers to dallying here. Let us be on our way. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. That's east. Right there. That might be around there, actually. Probably going to be near the crystal. Onto our abode. Most of our composers will find the remaining isle in their nostrils, though your quizzical expressions indicate my facing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. I say they remain idle, but you work to regain, but what of your work on regain corporeal bodies? Astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by a sudden inspiration, we race to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That's why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in mobile state, rest assured they would not object for you to disturb their respite. You only need to catch your thoughts towards one of the crystalline donicles to communicate. Okay. This is weird. Oh no, Ray, how about you, Ray? You wish to speak? Very well. pray a moment, if you would. Let's go get the Aether here real quick. I feel like I have to be stoned for a few days. Where are you at again? Oh, there's a lot of snow. Yeah, a lot of places right now. Not here, but it's 33 degrees right now here. Oklahoma. Well, it's 16 inches. Surprised my mom didn't say anything. I'm not super surprised just to say. Dude, 33 degrees there too, huh? Yeah, we haven't had any snow or anything close to snow for us. Why we seek our end, you ask? You wish to know? I will tell you. Just a moment, just remember, what form did I take when last I emerged? Oh god. The strange morning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. You made to Endwalker and Garlemald is where you're at? Nice. Catching up. This is getting towards... Oh, that was a pool of water. I'm getting towards the end of Endwalker here. Did inquiries yield satisfactory responses? Not really, no. They didn't tell me crap. I see. If they failed to answer, then it's likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Yeah, you just completed a duty where he switched bodies and I had to play as a weak-ass guard. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that part. Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer. Requested for an audience, yes? I mentioned they will be with us year long. Yeah, that part was not fun. A lot of sneaking around on that part. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few E have awakened. Ah, there they are. Conseil I play Final Fantasy 14. I introduce you to La Lakira, Du Dick, and Na Nigig. Man, could they pick easier names? It's been too long, Kokara. I dare say Saturn 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I haven't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers, ah, of course, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain as you see the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them to wake you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? No, thou art not. In my absence of carnal forms and divergence they afford, may have such celerity of voice is unavoidable. I guess because that will go over well. By the way, Code God, you have already observed the requisite custom. That is which one is expected to do when receiving us. Am I our proper form? Ah yes, so long has it been, I completely escaped my mind. It still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither did I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer? Come now, you naked. The archives has been long been frozen. Lest we subject ourselves to further duel. Surely you recall that much. Ah, of course, food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to the replenishment, we can communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right. I don't think there's any food on this planet. We duly invite you to join us in a community repast, which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we had a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. This facility is where we purge our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditional sometimes use the word restaurant. If we don't ask, they can't say yes. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. What the heck are they going to feed me? You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. Nothing seems to happen. Just as suspected, and potentially as one might recreate the his home world, this is Oldthal. We're not simply generate ether here. As for recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, the very truth of their existence, much like phantoms of the recreated operant. However, appearances may seem we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So did you have your fill of ether? As we can observe it, a deficit in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Eating food. They're your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only as a spell of sound, but to draw in sustenance besides such life forms has long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably cannot partake in magnificent feasts, rest assured you feel your welcome most keenly. In course of acquainting ourselves with sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail to wonder where do you obtain vessels of flesh, and advance to vanish. Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh and blood's being are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we should indulge you. In the beginning, when the Eden are possessed corporal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transitioning all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and obey to true happiness. From the tangibles such as land to the intangibles such as labor, there is just minor hindrances to progress, but the most confronting of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was disdainfully middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But I managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities, which everlasting lives untroubled by the features of the flesh. This changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on making our greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations. They finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciding the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena and hence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us the fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our convention. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They're possessed of corporeal forms. Their lives readily ended. And those who had gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkst thou? We deliberate and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose it to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elangra. A fundamental truth. We'll hear, of course. Let us learn what has led such a enlightened people to an end. Ere we join the E, there's one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Logan, Gratia, might try you for assistance. But of course, my thanks. We shall head outside the abode if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Herringer, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Langer. Least you worry, we won't start without you. I gotta go blow my nose again. I'll be right back. Alright. Way over there. Okay. Alright, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Forgive me, my friends, but there's not to investigate. It has but presence to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here, although those descendants of rune stars have recreated in their twilight days. You have one question that does arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the youths of Kura. They believe themselves yet amongst the living. How does thou suppose this is possible? You have a conflict with them while they're still living. Of course, she must have visited the stars of the dragons and Ea before either race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, and with them create more faithful Simkara than she had relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and, upon the assumption, considered how those two races may have met their demise. Through medium. According to thine own tale, medium pervades the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of entities is serric to her nature as an inactuality. In the course of her star-finding journey, she encountered beings who strongly desire Cassian of their existence. She'd be powerless before that desire. Even as she possessed the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my suspicion that, underwhelmed by the longing for death, Mina did unleash Dynamis and usher the dragons and Ian onto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this: in the place where you stand, who is the soul that yearneth more desperately for oblivion? Why did you tell us this now? There again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades, and bringing thee into my confidence, I will remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the crystal arch. Its arch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full of knowing that we were bound for thy demise. Ask not that thou return to favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill my own destiny. Hey, Kate. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis in death of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must need go to such length, I cannot well form ignorance of the answer I found within. I slept early yesterday. Actually, I was up till about 10:20 or so. I just didn't stream. The answer to the question, in the moment might I stand strongest. I did not feel up for streaming last night. After all that we've been through, I will say only this. No. Do what you must. Do what you must, and see your convention through. I shall, my friend, I shall. It probably would have been pretty hard for me to fall asleep, to be honest. Without further ado, then, let's go join our comrades. Let us be off to Algeria. That did is teleport. I'm too lazy. Still super congested and stuff, unfortunately. It seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, The universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
Oh, crap.
While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
And there goes Y'shtola.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Well, we need one of them for someone else to sacrifice in the next area. Go run out of people. Okay, that's messed up. Next. Gratia probably the
What's
next one
this?
go.
An extinguished civilization. Rekindled?
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering and pain. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Atheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Are we ready to continue on? Then let's make our way to where the light shone. A Ishal and Yerger have opened the way for us. First, I gotta grab those quests. There's quests over here. Gotta grab those. Thingy, yeah. Let's just go ahead and do them real quick. These things real quick. I guess these. playing I was playing Monster Hunters last night with Mike, and he actually ended up fighting Alpha from one of the quest lines from here in Monster Hunter. I wish I could fly. I just wanna fly. That's weird. They couldn't care less of that. Yes, it failed. The ether emitting from the arcane pattern. There's a pearl, and no mistake. Let's see where it leads. Portal of wisdom. I don't have any wisdom, so YOLO. I'll end up going that way. I can tell you right now. Intruder alert, intruder alert. This must be the things that attack the dragons. Beep boop. Amazing. Yet another civilization. That just seems right. Not the most welcome of places, is it? Let's try to find descendants who are amenable to conversation. We should also get the lay of the land. See how far we can go. I'll alpha node with that. In the meantime, you and Grahar can search for a friendlier folk. It'll better leave in friendliness. Apart from hostile beings, take care of your footing and mislike the look of this terrain. Not knowing what the locals are like, you best take care of yourselves. We'll find you once we finish exploring. Suspected twins will seek the outermost bounds of the isle, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encountered, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let's avoid them and look for others and appear more approachable. Boom, 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 boom. No, all I want to do is get this damn ether. You suck. Time to attune. Alright, now I can continue on to my quest now that I get that part. Turn southeast. Attune to the crystal. Look, the machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Beg your pardon, but we are searching for the citizens of this star. Use unknown life forms detected, assigning genetic label, interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet Bleep Bloop. Beep Bloop! The planet what? Can you please repeat that? It appears our hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It may be translated into yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. The Omicrons, you say? And what is that you do here? We are preparing for war. War? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. As we presently do not have the designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you'll be taken to custody and or terminated. Friendly folk. Not a little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. Omicron Perseid. I will see what else I can learn from this fellow. If you could try speaking with the others. Omicron Perseid. Bleep bloop. Anonymous weapon deployment complete. Vanguard augment upgrade complete. Mutation levels satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment normal. Awaiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. Friendly. Beast measuring combat capacity. The result. Negligible. Subject fails outside of targeting parameters. Greetings, traveler. We are Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we've ventured forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjecting the home world of the beings whose strength was said to be without peril, the dragon. Yeah, see, I told you it was the ones that took down dragons. Yet, though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceed the gains. Told you it was them that took down the dragons. Who's Green Traveler? When venturing outside the outpost, beware of malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands and indiscriminately attack all non-Omicrons. For avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our forces as the foremost of 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. So what I'm hearing is we need to destroy you all. You learned a few things too. So did I. Here we stand, share our findings. However, I believe it's best to set aside the outpost. Come with me. You're awfully demanding, Tia. Ah, there you are. We finished surveying the area. This will come as no surprise, but there is no way forward. There was only portals like the ones we used to get here, but those that worked only sent us to isolated isles. Then, as before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. What of yourselves? Did you find anything you wanted to speak with? So-so? Not gonna give you much information, but yeah. So I'm gonna seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following the victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but the leader has yet to issue new commands, and so they wait. Who is their leader, though? In such a place, who could it be that fits Yeringer's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Yeringer said this? During our education before we joined you in Elikia. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't he just say it to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragons and the Ia longed for death, the Uncrons longed for conflict. As much as they may lead to destruction, it may be considered a distinct desire. In order to find the source of the dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out their leader, this Sir. Sir! May I have another? According to M032, the first Omicron with whom we spoke, there is a console by which we might communicate with it. M032 also added that it would be the most pointless exercise, but that in itself, I believe, is worth investigating. What say you? Lead me to Sir! Take me to your leader. So, the console we seek lies on the far side of this isle. Given the nature of the ground, the route may not entirely be direct as it seems. Let us watch our steps as we make our way. No! I don't wanna. I don't wanna, and you can't make me. Oh, there's our requests ready. Let's go grab those. Blah 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 blah. I'll whoop your ass, I don't care. Give it a pet name. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a pet name for my life, but you know, whatevs. What the hell? What? What? What the damn hell? I love you, so go blow yourself up. What? Makes total sense. Okay. I got to. God damn it. Cool. I guess. Right. Yeah, I miss being such a high level that it won't attack me. But at this point, everything's such a high level that it'll attack me. This appears to be the console, but it seems unresponsive. We care to take a look at it? Yep, I must. Always gotta do all the work. You tried touching, smacking, and tuning with the console, but there's no response. No legacy. Did you kick it? There must be a way to activate it. There must. Ugh, swift kick!
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough. But if we can't even activate it?
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. As you've doubtless surmised, I believe this was the homeworld of Omega. According to the records I read in the future, it possessed a single weakness: lightning.
That's all well and good, but what does
Try
that...
Skippy.
Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
Hell yeah!
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall we cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic?
Hell yeah. YOLO. Have it.
Very well. Here I go.
It worked!
Open information to Communications Module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Sigma 1 now online. As a primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you. Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
Here, operations unit, operations unit, operations unit. Where are you? Let's search. Let's focus our search on the outpost. Alice and I will try speaking with the Omicrons at this time, in hopes we might learn something new. Meanwhile, perhaps you and Ground can observe them from a distance. These beings are systematic and routine by nature. If there aren't any that aren't, it shouldn't be too difficult to spot them. If there are no questions, let's begin at once. As we came this way, I believe I spied a promising vantage point. Follow me. Follow, follow, follow. Always with the follow. Speaking of follow, drop a follow. Ha! Heyo. Seriously. I'm pretty sure everyone here is following. Man, I want to fight two creatures. Well, technically like 6 nuts. Boom. 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 It was so powerful. It's great. Denver watched about it carelessly, as if lacking a clear objective. Beep boo. Duncan wandering aimlessly? Where? Right there. Are you blind? You better take lessons from the kids! Ah ha ha ha! Ah, I see it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's right there. Probably got roughly 30 minutes to 30 to 50 minutes probably. It's left the base. Let's follow it. Charge! I want to go back here though. Yeah, there's stuff over there. I'm too lazy to walk around. Go back there, and then we'll go up there and turn in east west. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, 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 ow. Take it. I don't want it. My opinion is you guys should be shot. Digging down the dragons. Dragons are cute. Why would you do that? Complete. Your nose. I love you, so please go blow up. It's not here, but it definitely came this way. Unless I use the portal. Time to go through and see what we find. Okie dokie, artichoke. Through the portal. What is your quarry? Ah, you found it. What are you doing here? I'm looking at the tree. What a usual specimen. What is the device attached to it? The tree is a sample collected from another star. As it cannot survive in our environment, however, it requires life support. That is the function of that device. You go such lengths to sustain it. Is there something special about this tree? Being foreign matter, protocol requires that we study it. As this task has been completed, the specimen may be discarded. However, when I behold the tree, I am made to feel as though there is a problem. In order to become strong, we have continued to enhance ourselves, like we did countless others. We conquered the star once this tree came. It is the last remnant of a dead world. There is nothing towards which it may aspire. Yet it grows, extends its branches, sprouts leaves, produces seeds. Why does it seek to continue? Why was it made to behave in such a way? And to what end? I do not understand. I see. Out of curiosity, does this pertain to your duty? No, it does not. My apologies. I shall return to my designated post and soon in a state of combat readiness. Wait. What's your duty supposed to be? So it was acting outside of orders. Perhaps it's simply a malfunctioning Omicron. They are by no means uncommon. But it may also be a unit possessed of the ability to make decisions, one not unlike Sir. I believe this bears further investigation. To endeavor to live even if we must depend on forces beyond our control. Emilian, one day, when this adventure becomes a part of your epic, do you think I will be mentioned in it? Of course, why wouldn't you be? You're part of the story, aren't you? You truly think so? That would be a... Nay, I shouldn't say such things until the moment comes to pass. Never mind. The embarrassment. Well, we had best get on with our task. Tracking down Sir and understand the nature of the motion which bars our way. We should return to Outpost now. Judge will wish to hear about the errant Omicron. Grace says you found a suspicion of Omicron. That's good, because the units here were no help. They all have the same thing to say about the extended operations unit. There's no way to arrange a direct meeting. Still, that served to prove that it was business as usual at the outpost. Yes, about us. Tell us you learn something more useful. And Omicron tried to make sense of me in life. Now that ours were even a fraction, that's philosophical. This unit may well be in a position of leadership, perhaps even one of those that compress Sirs. As we know, the Omicrons invade other stars and enhance themselves using the spoils of conquest. With the technology at their disposal, they should be able to alter their bodies, be it in part or in whole. Setting aside the question of motive, if Sir, for example, wished to have an ordinary Omicron body, there's no reason why it would not be possible. The problem is how to go about asserting if that's what's happened. When I attempted to probe further upon the end of the conversation, if it is indeed Sir, I doubt it would willingly reveal its true identity. I have an idea. We use light on the console gun, but make it stronger. Much stronger. At that moment, should the unit exhibit a reaction that could suggest that it is in connection to Sir, an inspired idea, and Sarah say it's worth a try. I felt you'd be on board. This time, you must allow me to do the honors. I will stand guard in case there is incarceration draws sentries to the scene. For my part, then, I will approach our suspect and divert his attention. During which time, Logan, I want you to observe it closely for anomalies behaviors. I should mention that shortly before you returned, an Omicron appeared from the same direction. Rather than entering the outpost, however, it headed off toward the console. At first, I assumed it was a unit on patrol, but perhaps it could only be errant Omicron. We must seek it out and begin our operation at once. Alright, Alpha Node, and I will stand by at the console. When it's time, I'll unleash a veritable storm. This will work, I'm sure of it. After all, our comrades are watching over us. Come, my friend, let us find the doubt plate Omicron. You're one that was observing the tree, are you not? Fully glad to find you again. I had a question for you, see, about the device which sustains the tree. Right, it's not necessary to disclosure or restrict information. Very well. I'll be right back. Pull up my notes real quick. Alright. Anomaly, you say? Perform a diagnostic. Error confirmed. My connection to Central Command is suffering from intermittent failures. I must leave at once and present myself for maintenance at the nearest facility. You will excuse me. Like hell we will! What you need, my friend, isn't maintenance. It is to confront the truth. While we spoke, our comrade struck the console used to communicate with Sir. That is the cause of your anomaly. You're connected to Sir, aren't you? Affirmative. To what end you sought to assert this fact, I do not know, but before we speak further, we must move away from the other units. I do not wish to know my true identity. Very well, our friends are at the console. Let us head there.
As you have surmised, I am part of the shared intelligence of Skipper One. It was, my charge to determine the optimal path to achieving our prime function. This body had been abandoned by its former owner and lay unused. I took it and abandoned my own, and with it, my duty.
May we ask why you did this? From what we gather, it seems to be a personal matter.
Our kind did not always look as we do now. Long ago, we possessed frail and feeble bodies. Beleaguered by stronger races, our ancestors took to augmenting their flesh in order to defend themselves. What began with limited parts eventually spread to the whole body, and at last, a means was discovered to convert the mind into data, rendering even the brain obsolete. Such complete mechanical beings were called the Omicrons, and by their might, we came to reign supreme over the star. But even then, we did not feel secure. For we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us. Rather than risk becoming the subjugated, we chose to become the subjugator. We began our conquest of the stars, that we might acquire the resources and knowledge we needed to reign supreme. We were successful in that endeavor. So powerful did we become, we could lay low even the mighty dragons. But then something unexpected happened. I began experiencing an error. I could no longer determine an optimal path.
You were malfunctioning.
I performed numerous full system scans, each time finding no issues. Yet the error persisted. It was then that I speculated. What could happen if we grew so powerful as to have no equal? To become stronger was essential to our existence. Our every action has been in service to this objective. But if nothing lies beyond this, can it be truly said that it was essential? Have we been engaging only in wanton destruction?
You could find no threat to justify your purpose.
The Omicrons will never leave this star. They will stand by until their reserves of energy is spent. For I have no path to offer them. None.
It is not our place to pass judgment on the deeds of the Omicrons. But surely, this does not have to spell the end of your people. With your power and knowledge, the possibilities are endless. Why not seek out a new purpose?
That is impossible. In the beginning, we had a higher purpose than our pursuit of power. But we lost sight of it when we so irrevocably altered our fundamental forms. When we cast aside our flesh, so too did we cast aside all that defined us. Nothing remains of who we once were. have no aspirations. No longer can I dream. The vital spark is lost. Lost amidst circuitry and code and commands.
Ah. I believe I know how to overcome this despair. The words are ready in my mind, but ere I speak them, I want you to make me a promise. Be it across time or space, our promises have always connected us. And so I ask that you indulge me once more, that this won't be the end. Is that so? In that case, I won't hold back. First, I want to visit Ishgard with you. Properly. We scarcely had time to look around last time. I should like it very much if you could show me the sights. Next, you must regale me with your greatest adventures, in the places where you lived them, if possible. I may have read about all your deeds, but there is no substitute for a first-hand account. And last but not least, a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. We'll travel the lands, cross the seas, and take to the skies upon the eternal wind, and it will be marvelous. It will. If you would humor me a moment. When we awaken each morning, how can we prove that we're the same individual who retired the night before? Through the remembrance of past events, we might say. We have our memories, yet there are times when we forget or recall incorrectly. What of our bodies, then? It is the same one, we might say, yet technically speaking, as living beings, our bodies are constantly changing. It will never be as it was at an earlier point in time. Our souls are no more immutable. On our star, people are known to inherit the souls of others, yet they are decidedly different beings. For my part, I've subjected my totality to much and more. I've made my body into an extension of a tower, blended my soul and memories with those of another self. And each time I would ask myself, what is it that makes me, me?
Were you able to determine an answer?
No. But that doesn't mean I'm confused. It simply means I'm the same as everyone else. So I posit this. Who we were need not prescribe what we now hold in our hearts. Whatever came before, what matters most is the present. For me, that is being here with my friends, full proud of how much we've grown together. So I urge you to not give up. Heed your heart's desire and hope that the future you long for shall be realized.
I cannot. We cannot. We cannot understand desire, nor comprehend hope. we do not know how to create such things.
We are not unalike, you and I. I too have struggled to find the courage to express and embrace my wants. If you like, I will tell you a tale. A tale of a world on the brink. Of a people who never gave up on the future. Of a man who realized his grandest dreams and then awakened to a grander reality.
You idiot! Just once, stay with us to the end!
They all leave so easily, as if it's nothing. How do you think we feel? Next time we meet, I'll give him such a flick that it'll be just to start. The crystalline path Graha has paved it for us. Difficult as it is, we must carry on for our friends and all who awaits us in the faith. So come, let us seek the path beginning. It appears to be near the outpost. Look, Logan, a portal has opened. Usually Lyra is true. It must. Oh, here is the path begins and it ascends to dizzying heights. Let us make our way, one sure step at a time. Our friends got us this far. Their courage, their strength, their wisdom, their love. We owe it to them to continue, no matter how long it takes. This is almost. Normal? It's not unlike many cities we know, but it's deathly quiet. Many of the inhabitants are within the buildings or invisible to our senses. Wrong on both counts. There is simply no one here. Medion. This is how I found it when I write. Another star, which one pulsed with life, but no longer. How it ended, I do not know. Invasion, sickness, suicide, none can say. None live to speak for the dead. They are gone. Gone. Judge all you like, but you'll only end up turning back. If there is no one here, then neither should there be emotion to bar our way. Yet Mian says convinced we'll turn back. What riddle is this? Remy may have said we should confirm with our own eyes. We need to have a look around. Indeed, at the very least, it doesn't appear to be sprawling place like those before. If we split up, it shouldn't take too long to cover the area. I think I will be calling it there since the family's on their way home and stuff. You know, good stream, got a lot done in Final Fantasy. Close to the end. Looks like 2 more quests. It looks like. So, we're getting there. So thanks for stopping in. Remember, drop a like, follow, subscribe, Twitch, YouTube, Kick. You can always check out previous streams over on YouTube as well, since I don't remove any of them from there. So,